Hey there, movie fans. This is shelf 26 of my DVD collection, and we start off with this deluxe edition of The Mummy and The Mummy Returns. Yeah, this is, comes with this nice slipcase, as you can see. And these are fun movies, fun fantasy, action, adventure movies. Some bad CGI here and there, especially at the end of The Mummy Returns when Dwayne Johnson reappears. But overall, it's a lot of fun. I've seen these films in the movie theaters. I've also seen this one in the movie theater in Munich by Steven Spielberg. This is a very enjoyable murder mystery, Murder by Death by Neil Simon. With an all-star cast, you have Peter Sellers, Peter Falk, David Niven, Maggie Smith. That woman in the back there, that is Elsa Lanchester, the bride of Frankenstein. Alec Guinness is in it as a blind butler. Yeah, very, very enjoyable. Here's the original version of Mutiny on the Bounty with Charles Laughton and Clark Gable. This is a good one, really good one, but I prefer the Marlon Brando version that came out in, somewhere in the 1950s, I believe. My Fair Lady, yeah, it's a lovely film, lovely musical. I still like to get the 4K Blu-ray. Now this is a film I've seen many times when I was a kid. My Science Project. I know there's a Blu-ray release of it. Here's Dennis Hopper as a crazy teacher. Yeah, it's a fun movie. Absolutely fun movie. My Voyage to Italy by Martin Scorsese. This is a documentary series where he talks about Italian art house cinema, Fellini, Visconti, De Sica, those types of directors. Rossellini. I've always wanted to. I've always wished that Scorsese did a follow-up to this one, where he talks about Italian genre cinema. Giallo, Poliziotteschi, spaghetti westerns, those type of films, because I know he's a big fan of those films as well. Mystic River, great film by Clint Eastwood. Now these two, this is kind of like a trailer compilation DVDs. The Night of Bad Taste, that was held in the Netherlands and Belgium, and I believe some other countries as well. Here is the second one. Like I said, it's the best of The Night of Bad Taste. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Nachtrit is. Oh, sorry for the background noise, by the way. This means night ride or night drive. I'm not really sure what the official English title is of this Dutch film, but it's pretty good. Pretty good. The Naked Gun Trilogy, Leslie Newson. Yeah. And this is The Naked Island, which is a wonderful Japanese film shot in black and white, and it's basically a silent film, even though it came out in 1960, but there's hardly any dialogue in it. But wonderful film. This is a very entertaining film, The Naked Jungle with Charlton Heston and Eleanor Parker. This is about an army of red ants terrorizing the area. Yeah, very, very entertaining. George Pell produced this, and George Pell was a, sci-fi movie pioneer. He did The War of the Worlds. It was also directed by Byron Haskin, by the way. The Time Machine, Destination Moon. You know, he did a lot of sci-fi classics back in the 1950s. The Name of the Rose, great film. Sean Connery, yeah, absolutely great. The Nameless, this is a Spanish horror thriller with a very bleak and eerie atmosphere. I thought it was quite effective. Narrow Margin with Gene Hackman and Ann Archer. You know, I prefer the original version, The Narrow Margin with Charles McGraw, one of my favorite film noir classics. But this is a good film as well. Comedy classic, National Lampoon's Animal House with John Belushi. Navy SEALs. Let me move aside a little, and here we have one of the best vampire movies ever made, Near Dark. I know there's a Blu-ray release of this one, but it has a terrible front cover. You know, the front cover looks like it's a Twilight movie, but it's not. No, I'm still hoping that we will be getting a proper Blu-ray release of this film. You know, something that Screen Factory or Arrow might put out. You know, but yeah, it's a brilliant film. It absolutely is. This is a French horror anthology, Necronomicon. The Negotiator, Samuel L. Jackson and Kevin Spacey. Yeah, you know, Spacey, I said it before, he's a scumbag. But he's a great actor, you know, there's no denying in that. Terrific Western, Nevada Smith with Steve McQueen. Never on Sunday. This is one of those European films that Jules Dassin made, you know, when he escaped from the United States, you know, after the you know, McCarthy era. You know, he was blacklisted, so he went to Europe and made films there. Rififi is probably his most famous European film, and this is a film that he made in Greece with his wife, Melina McCurry. Yeah. Now this one I haven't seen yet, believe it or not. This is Never Sleep Again, The Elm Street Legacy, the ultimate nightmare documentary. Yeah, this is what, 4 hours long? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I still need to check this out. New Kids, this is a Dutch TV show that was very popular back in the day. You know, it's very offensive, very politically incorrect, but it's just hilarious, absolutely hilarious. And they made 2 movies after this one. Here is New Kids Turbo and New Kids Nitro, and this one makes a sound. Oh, that's not nice. Anyway, this is New York Stories, an anthology film, you know, 3 different stories, each one directed by a different legendary filmmaker. You know, you can see the names here: Woody Allen, Francis Ford Coppola, and Martin Scorsese. Night of the Living Dead, classic. Night Will Fall, this is a very impressive World War II documentary with some horrific images. Yeah, very, very impressive. 9 Queens, this is an Argentinian film. There is an American remake, which I believe is called Criminal, with John C. Reilly and Diego Luna, I believe, is in it. But this is much, you know, Criminal, it was alright, but it was basically a shot-by-shot remake, or at least it seems like that. But the original is much better. No Direction Home, Bob Dylan, Martin Scorsese's film about, you know, this legendary musician. I believe this is 4 hours long, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 204 minutes. But it's worth every second. And the last one of row 1 is this very underrated action-adventure classic, Northwest Frontier. Lauren Bacall, Kenneth More, Herbert Lum. Yeah, really, really good film, this one. Okay, let's take a look at the second row. And the first one is a classic Hollywood melodrama, Not as a Stranger, with an all-star cast. You have Robert Mitchum, Gloria Graham, Olivia de Havilland, Frank Sinatra. Who else is in there? Broderick Crawford, Lee Marvin, Lon Chaney. Yeah, there's a lot of great actors in this one. Now this is a highly entertaining documentary about exploitation, Australian exploitation films, directed by Mark Hartley. Not quite Hollywood. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. A lot of fun. La Notte by Michelangelo Antonioni. Wonderful film. And here is also a sort of documentary, That's It, with Paul Verhoeven and Wim Verstappen. They're talking about they're mainly talking about Spetters, which is this very controversial film by Verhoeven. And Verstappen, who is not alive anymore, he was one of the pioneers of erotic cinema, Dutch erotic cinema in the 1970s. He became very rich with those films. Speaking of Dutch cinema, this is a beautiful costume drama, Nienke. And this is one of my favorite Coen Brothers movie, O Brother, Where Art Thou. Really love the soundtrack of this film. On any Sunday, these are, documentary series about motor races. I got this mainly because of Steve McQueen. There's some footage of him on his bike. So, yeah. Oh. Now, this is an enjoyable horror film with Peter Weller of unknown origin. This is the one where he trying to hunt down this giant red. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Once a Thief, John Woo, Chow Yun-fat, of all the collaborations that they made together, this is my least favorite one. It has some really good action set pieces, but it's also quite silly. But yeah. This is the One-Armed Swordsman Trilogy. Yeah, these are really cool Shaw Brothers classics here. I noticed the first one has a Blu-ray release, but the other one does not. Not that I think so. But it would be nice if they did a Blu-ray box set of the four, these movies. Now, of course, there's a fourth one where he fights against Zatoichi, which is part of the Zatoichi set that I also have from a Criterion Collection. 1 Hour Photo. This is one of Robin Williams' best performances. I mean, sure, he was a great comedian, but as a actor, as a serious actor, he was incredibly underrated, if you ask me. And he plays a very, very creepy character in this, and at the same time, you kind of feel sorry for him, But yeah, an excellent performance of Williams in this film. 1 Million Years BC, Raquel Welch, John Richardson, Harryhausen classic. Yeah, fun movie. And this is Tony Jaa's breakthrough movie, Ong Bak. Love this film. Absolutely a terrific martial arts film, this one. Wasn't very fond of the sequels, although they're not really sequels, they're more like prequels in a way. But those two does have some fantastic fight scenes in it. It's a Dutch World War II drama, more like a kids movie, but it's beautifully made, beautifully acted. I thought the kids were really good. It's about these these two boys who are friends. His parents are with the resistance, and his parents are with the NSB, which is Dutch Nazi collaborations, And then this girl comes into their lives, and they both fall in love with her. But she appears to be Jewish. It's beautiful but tragic little World War II drama. Open Range, brilliant, absolutely a brilliant Western, this one. To be honest, I kind of prefer this over Dances with Wolves. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Dances with Wolves, but I think this is a better film. I really do. Yeah, that shootout at the end, amazing. Absolutely amazing. One of the best I've ever seen in a movie. A Argento classic opera. Yeah, very good. And this is Sam Peckinpah's final film, The Osterman Weekend, with a really great cast. Rutger Hauer, Dennis Hopper, Burt Lancaster, Greg T. Nelson, John Hurt, Meg Foster, Alan Shaver. Yeah, pretty good. The Others with Nicole Kidman. Oh, sorry about the glare, by the way. Anyway, The Others, Nicole Kidman. Very creepy little horror classic here. And here we have The Outlaw, which is a Western produced by Howard Hughes, Jane Russell. Here's another Western, only this is a little different. Paint Your Wagon, which is a musical with Lee Marvin and Clint Eastwood. Now, Lee Marvin, he has a really good singing voice. Clint Eastwood, not so, but I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. However, I cannot believe that Lee Marvin chose to do this movie over The Wild Bunch. He was originally going to play the William Holden part in The Wild Bunch, but he chose to do this one instead. And I understand why he did it, because he was offered $1 million, which at the time was a lot of money for an actor, But I think he regretted it afterwards. But still, I enjoyed it. It's a silly Western musical. Pal Joey, Frank Sinatra, Kim Novak, and Rita Hayworth. And this is the Korean limited edition of Pan's Labyrinth by Guillermo del Toro. Very nice release, this one. Now here's a film that desperately needs a Blu-ray release. Panic Room. In fact, this one needs a 4K Blu-ray release. Yeah, great film by David Fincher. And here's another one. Another Peckinpah title. This is the documentary about him, Passion and Poetry, The Ballad of Sam Peckinpah. Yeah, highly recommended. This is the German DVD 2-disc special edition. Yeah, wonderful documentary about one of my all-time favorite film directors. Here is another Dutch World War II drama, Pastoral, 1943. Still have not seen it, believe it or not. But this one stars Renee Soutendijk. You might know her from Spetters, and she was also in Eve of Destruction, the Terminator ripoff. And she was recently in the Suspiria remake, and also with Rutger Hauer in a small role. I believe this is getting a Blu-ray release in North America, by the way. Yep. This is a masterpiece. Absolutely a masterpiece. Patton with George C. Scott. George C. Scott is absolutely brilliant. And this is the one where he refused. He won the Best Actor Oscar, but he refused it because he thought it was absolutely ridiculous. The Oscars and all that. Yeah, fantastic film. This is the Poverhooven Collection from Anchor Bay. This set received the first 5 Dutch films. Business is Business, Turkish Delight, which is still to this day the most successful Dutch film ever. Katie Tipple, Soldier of Orange, and The Fourth Man. The Fourth Man is also very underrated. It's kind of like his Hitchcock film. These films really deserve new restored Blu-ray releases and all that. Hopefully that will happen someday. This is a pretty good film, The Pentagon Papers, with James Spader. The Spielberg film The Post with Tom Hanks. It chronicles the same story as this one. To be honest, I enjoyed The Post, but I think this is a better film than that one. The People versus Larry Flint. Yep. And this is also, like My Voyage to Italy, a documentary series by Martin Scorsese, a personal journey with Martin Scorsese through American movies. And this is absolutely highly recommended. If you love Scorsese and love cinema in general, you really need to check this out. And the final title of this shelf is a Disney classic, Peter Pan. Yep. And that is it. I will be back with the next shelf. And thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye.